Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here to do my weekly comic review. First up, Superwoman Special. Now, this one is appropriately titled Secret Origin. This book is brought to us by writer Joshua Williamson and three artists. Edwin, Galmon, Laura Braga, and the last name I am really not going to be successful with. Just fair warning. It's Nikola Cizmesija. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's Cizmesua. So we have a team of artists on this book, and my compliments to them. This art on this book is really nice. And this story is appropriately titled Secret Origin. I'll throw back to a lot of stories. We start off, Lois Lane is suffering from writer's block because she's trying to write a story about Superwoman, who she is. And she points out in the story, she has always had no problem being, the writer of the story, but she never wanted to be the story. So she decides to go out and hang out with Lana and Kara. Now, someone or other, I've been reading most of this. I have missed where Lana became Superwoman Red, so I'm not up to speed on that. But she basically starts pitching them the idea for a story, because that's what she used to do with Perry. Which I like that, because she now is the editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. I'm sorry if the cat is demanding a little bit of attention here. Aren't y'all next? So we go to find out that the origin of her story of her powers is she got into the suit that she was wearing during the absolute powers problem, and she was going there to basically try to help save the superheroes, because she became aware of it, that the armor that she was wearing was tied into the Amazo super robots. Anyway, as she's on her way there, the feedback deal that disabled all of them and reversed all the powers back to everybody also affects the suit, and she plummets into the sea. However, she wakes up in her business outfit at the Daily Planet. No knowledge of what happened. Jimmy Olsen shows up there with a girl. She quickly abandons the rooftop so that Jimmy can be there by himself with her. And we go on to her discovering her powers as she is trying to find her favorite pen. And this her coffee table, or no, that's not coffee, that's a couch up over her own head. She proceeds to go to Mercy, get her attention, and help find out what's going on. Meanwhile, what else is going on, they're doing, what would normally be considered Superman stuff. They are going around saving babies from burning buildings, stopping traffic stuff. She finds out that her powers, however, while identical to Superman's, nobody confirms that she is still absorbing solar energy. So basically her cells are supercharged like Superman, but it's probably going to be a ticking time bomb, because sooner or later the supercharge is going to leave her body. So they recommend that she don't use her powers. Of course, being Lois Lane, police cars go rolling by, and she immediately goes to help. She pushes an officer down out of the way while bullets are coming in at him, and then using her super speed, she stops the bank robbers. And she tells Kara and Lana that she kept the bullet that hit her, which is how she found out that she was invulnerable. To remind her that just how dangerous this can actually be. This story is set basically right after Absolute Power, and a lot of the first half is while Clark is in the Phantom Zone, which if you're reading Action Comics, he currently is, still. When he gets back, Lois is wearing glasses, and he asks what the glasses for. She's like, well, for dramatic effect. Because she does the whole reveal. I'm pretty sure, I'd have to look back, I'm pretty sure this is an homage back to the Clark revealing his super status to Lois back in the day. And he points out he has questions. So he goes, the interview can wait. She says, come fly with me. Really, really nice panel. Lois and Clark flying together. Of course, we go with the Justice League doing a review of her powers. And then she does some training with Clark. She says she passes all of his tests. And her first big reveal is the Brimstones, which I always thought were a giant one, but apparently they now can break into small ones and then reform into big ones. She shows up and reveals herself to John that she has superpowers and he has been kept in the loop. And Lana and Kara basically point out the reason why you're having writer's block is because you feel guilty because you love having the superpowers. She thanks them, agrees with them, goes back to write her article. And then she gets ready to delete it. And she hears the super hearing. Somebody needs help. So then she takes off to help them. It's a really nice, cool panel at the back. Then we have a little bit of epilogue. Where they've actually found the super suit, even though they kind of told Lois that they didn't. And, they point out that, part of the absolute power thing is that people had powers swapped, people who had powers lost them, but somebody else got them. They point out that, where did she get these powers from? Because powers at Superman's level are extremely rare. At the very end, standing ominously is Zod. Okay. Thoughts on this book? This book is great, in my opinion. Huge Superman fan, huge Lois Lane fan. Lois Lane is a character that was before her time, which is actually almost 40 years before my time. She was a headstrong, independent woman back when women were still primarily housewives. So to have this really well-told story focused on Lois, focused on her being Superwoman, and just the thrill of having the powers to do the stuff that she's always tried to do without powers. And she has succeeded way more than she has ever failed in the books throughout generations of stories. This really, really pays a great homage to the Lois Lane of the past and of the future and definitely of the present. I extremely recommend this book. It's great to have Lois in this primary role as a superheroine, which she always has been, even without powers. So I do recommend you check this out and get caught up on Action Comics and Superman comics. I'll see y'all next week.